met with the public, we have met with agency executives, we are briefing the commissioner Tuesday, that's why I won't be here tomorrow. We have briefed Anish Chopra. The White House is keyed into this big time. Really, really, really likes it. We have a FACA panel that we've briefed. They love it. Who's on that FACA panel? Amazon's on it. Land's End is on it. MetLife is on it. They love the design. And then, you know, selling it to the rest of the agency. Because the rest of the agency, remember, is back to the big ship, and they're worrying. So they love it, but they're scared to death under these kind of economic budget times where we don't have a lot of money. You know, what if we do this, we won't get that? So that roadmap is exceedingly important for us to come up with. So that's what I have. Any questions? Sure.
When you did this, did you use your existing infrastructure that you have at SSA, or where were you developing all this? You didn't have any budget?
Oh, I have budget now. Yes. I got budget at the end of 2009, and I got this contract at the end of 2009.
So did you use your existing infrastructure?
What do you mean by that? These are just wireframes.
Your IT?
But we didn't have to use the IT infrastructure to use designs because they're just designs.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So I actually do have a lot of books that show the design, but I also have some that I have some files that actually move and work a little bit, but they're not hooked to anything.
So that web page that you have isn't a live web page?
The web page that I showed you there is very live.
Okay.
The web page that I showed you right there is very in that book. Okay, and is in our files that are executable to an extent. But that's the part that's so hard, because to tie it to all the back ends is no easy chore, and that's what we need the roadmap for.
So that's where your roadmap.
Yeah. Take us from that to that.
Right.
Okay.
You mentioned social media. Does SSA share a presence in the social media website that is so popular?
There are a couple of things I can tell you. Social Security is on Facebook from the outside looking in, okay? Not from the inside looking out, unless you have your Droid, okay? Or your iPhone. So we have a presence on Facebook. We have the ability to put stuff up in Twitter, although Social Security, I don't think, ever has posted anything. However, the CIO, Frank Bateman, you can fan him. And that's what we do. Yeah.
First, I just want to say thank you for trying to be an instrument of change in Social Security. For a guy who's probably going to have to work another 30 years. So I really do appreciate everything about what you're trying to accomplish, and anything we can do to help improve this is great. But second, I'm just curious, because you mentioned it a couple of times, and I've heard it a couple of other times. This notion of trust is a really interesting topic for me personally. Okay? And I hear you saying, okay, we went out, we solicited input from folks, but how do you go back and get that feedback loop that you actually are successfully changing the metric of trust? Are you improving or are you declining in terms of how the public is interfacing with Social Security? Because you mentioned it a couple of times, I'm just curious about that.
What's interesting, what we do, so before we release anything, and on a lot of topics, we do focus groups. We do a whole lot of that. We do a whole lot of surveying, and I don't remember the name of the survey that comes off the website. And then also, with the IDEO work, it was an extremely weird thing that people were telling us. They were telling us that they trusted Social Security, but when you said federal government, they didn't trust. And we found that very odd. We just found that very odd. But you know what? We took that to heart and said, we can't screw that up. And so, to your point, I believe we have to be more methodical in really coming up with some other answers that proves that point one way or another.
I was just curious if you had a magic formula.
I have no magic formula.
On determining.
I have no magic. Any other questions? Well, this has been fun for me, and I just appreciate your attention, so thank you.